So back in 2019, I picked up a new habit, and that was meditation. And in this video, I want to share the benefits and the things that I've learned from meditating nearly every day since 2019. All right, now, I'm not going to lie to you, I don't do this for an hour per day, every day for years. I think that would just be a little bit overwhelming and a lot, and I didn't feel like it was able to fit in my schedule. So I tend to do this for only about 5 to 10 minutes, usually every day. There's times when it doesn't really fit into the schedule. Maybe I'm traveling, I'm with other people. That's okay. But I still learn so many things from meditating, and the goal here in this video is to share those things that I've learned and the things that have really helped me in my life, because overall, it's been a very positive experience, and it's really with my hope that I can change the mindset of some other people who might be skeptical about meditating. Because I know for the first 21 or almost 22 years of my life, I really thought meditation was just kind of this big joke that was for hippies, and it just felt like a waste of time. And I looked at it and said, why would I spend half an hour doing nothing when I could be doing something productive, or at the very least doing something entertaining? Because time, as we all know, is the most precious resource. Why would I waste it? And that's what I constantly told myself. So hopefully we can change that mindset from some people here today. And if we do, I'm going to be really, really excited. Now, I know there's probably 10 other videos you can go watch. They're probably entertaining videos you can go watch, but I promise you that if you stick around, you're going to learn something very, very useful for your life, and hopefully maybe change it for the better. So let's get into it. All right, so first things first, let's clear up what meditation actually is. I think there's quite a few definitions and misconceptions about it. It's not totally about just clearing your mind and doing nothing, but it's also not about letting your thoughts run. So really what it is you're simply observing your own thoughts. I hope I didn't just lose you there. You can read into this more. I know I certainly didn't grasp it right away either. But essentially the key here is to observe your own thoughts, but not explore them any further. And so there's actually 9 different types of meditation. Don't worry, I don't know what half of these are either, so don't feel overwhelmed. I simply practice mindfulness meditation. I think it's really useful, and I'll explain those 5 key benefits from what I've learned from this in just a minute, but we're kind of clearing up what this definition actually is. So in this practice, simply what you're doing is you're observing your own thoughts. So for example, let's say that I'm sitting here and I'm meditating, and I start to smell something. I start to smell cookies. Smell really, really good. And so normally when we're not meditating, our mind starts to wander, right? So we use our 5 senses, right? We're smelling, we're hearing, we're feeling, we're seeing, and we are tasting, right? So those are the 5 ones, right? And so our minds start to wander. And so for example, maybe I'm meditating or I'm sitting here and I start to smell cookies. And then you start to think, oh, I wonder who's making cookies. I wonder what type of cookies. Why are they making cookies? Are they taking them somewhere? Who are the cookies for? And our minds start to wander. But when we're meditating, we simply acknowledge that we smell the cookies, but we don't explore it any further. So we simply label it and move on. And so we would simply say, smelling, 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 and then we move on to something else. And we try to stay relatively clear, but we're not actively seeking new thoughts. This really helps calm me down a lot. But let's talk about the key benefits here to meditation as a whole. All right, so there are 5 main benefits that I've learned from this over the past year and a half or so of meditating. And so the big overlying thing that I've learned from this, and the thing that's really helped me, is dealing with stress. Now, the majority of people in the world experience some level of stress, some people far more than others, whether this is from work, from school, from dealing with relationships or family members. We can end up being pretty stressed. And you don't have to be a doctor or a therapist or a psychiatrist to know that stress is generally not healthy in large doses. And so with stress, it can lead to higher blood pressure. These are all just, this is very much common knowledge. You can go explore this. I urge you to go explore this further as well. But meditation has really helped me with relieving stress and managing that. And there's different phases in life where you might be more or less stressed. But whenever I find myself getting a little bit too stressed, I simply just meditate for 5 or 10 minutes, and it really helps kind of alleviate that. Now, there's different ways to alleviate stress. We can exercise. It's a great way. We can watch movies. We can go hang out with friends. And unfortunately, sometimes people end up trying to deal with stress with drugs or alcohol or other bad things like that. So I found that this is one of the best ways for me to deal with that. And there's countless studies, there's hundreds of studies showing that meditation has consistently helped with dealing with stress. And there's meta-studies of this as well, which is a study of many other studies. So I urge you to go read about those and learn about how it can really help manage your stress as a whole. And I don't want this video to be something to spin it off as like it's gonna cure all the problems that you might have in your life, if you have any. It's certainly not the end-all be-all solution that's gonna fix everything, but it definitely does help in a lot of ways. Now, on top of that, and kind of going hand in hand with stress, the second great benefit to meditating that I found was helping with anxiety. Sometimes you can get a little bit anxious, whatever this is from. Sometimes we don't even know why we're experiencing anxiety. And so meditation has really helped with that as well. And the studies, once again, kind of highlight that and how it really does benefit. But there's 3 more key benefits here that I found. And some of these weren't even really labeled very much when I was doing research and deciding whether I should meditate or not and give it a go. And one of them was, it's helped me so much with making decisions based off of logic rather than based off of emotion. So think about all the times in your life that maybe you made a decision based out of emotion. Maybe you were angry, you were sad, you weren't happy with somebody, and you did something that you kind of acted rash. Like you went out and you did something that maybe you shouldn't have done. But in the moment, you just, you were so angry or you were so upset that you did something, right? Whenever I find myself flooded with a lot of emotions, usually negative emotions from something that happens in life, now what I do is I meditate for 5 or 10 minutes. That's all it takes. And it really helps center me and allow me to make decisions based out of logic rather than out of emotion. And I like to think that it's helped keep me out of a lot of trouble. I kind of just think about anybody who makes big mistakes because they've made those decisions out of emotion. If they could go back and meditate, I think some of them would not make those decisions. So I think that's one of the best benefits that I never really saw highlighted before that it's helped me with. Now there's 2 other benefits to it. One of them, helping with sleep. Totally helps with sleep. Once again, I'm not a sleep doctor, I'm just a guy here on the internet. But if you have lower levels of stress, if you're not as anxious all the time, you're gonna find that you're probably gonna sleep better. And sometimes you'll go to bed and you're wound up, you're thinking a lot about a lot of different things. Just meditate a little bit, and it definitely helps, at least me, helps me fall asleep so much quicker and so much better. And then the final key here that I found from meditating was actually that it really helps me with my attention span. And this is actually a concern that I've had for a pretty long time, noticing my attention span getting shorter and shorter, and kind of with every generation, I feel like their attention spans get shorter. We're kind of like goldfish now. We always need like something new, right? This is why TikTok is so popular. This is why movies today have cuts every 3 seconds, because we always want something new, right? We're always looking for something new because our attention spans are very, very short. And lengthening that, I think, really helps me in so many ways that I can't even describe in this video. So those are the 5 key benefits and things that I've learned from meditating. Now, if you've made it this far in the video and you're still kind of thinking, Nate, okay, whatever, you're talking about meditating, I'm not a hippie, I'm not gonna do this. I want you to at least try one thing. And what I want you to do is stop and just spend some time with yourself in your own head. And when I say this, I don't mean go and read books or go watch movies or go spend time with your dog somewhere. I'm really talking about just stopping and sort of facing yourself. And I don't want to sound like, like corny or something, but it's something that I started doing a while ago, because I kind of have this theory that so many of us are sort of like trying to fill our time and avoid our own thoughts. And this is why, sometimes people say to me, they're like, Nate, how could you sit on a bench and do nothing for 2 hours? I could never do that. I always need to be doing something. And, people are wired differently. Maybe it's just easier for me than other people, and there's no right or wrong answer. But I think if you can stop and really just kind of be content with your own thoughts and yourself and just kind of take everything in, rather than trying to constantly distract ourselves. It's almost like so many of us are running from ourselves in a weird way. So it's just something that really has brought me so much peace and happiness. by sort of just facing myself and kind of being content with myself and my thoughts, and not needing to fill my time with things to distract myself, because I think it's just something that I've noticed, and I wanted to share it, and that's why I put it at the end of the video. So maybe try it out and let me know your thoughts. If you decide to start meditating, it can't hurt. Just try it out for a week, try it out for 2 weeks. Let me know how you feel. Send me a message on Instagram. I'd love to hear about it. And I really hope that this video was of some value. If you want to go and explore meditation, I would recommend just watching some YouTube videos, follow along. It's a little bit difficult to learn on your own, so I would recommend following along with some YouTube videos to help get you started with it. So thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I'll make a video next week for everyone. So I'll see everybody next time.